as Rob. Hey, this is Zach Peak. You're listening to the Talking Birdie podcast.
Fly ball left field. Nate McLouth is there. And the magical season of the Baltimore Orioles continues.
Ball and 2 strikes on Goins. Ground ball to first. There's Pierce. And the Orioles are champions of the AL East.
And everybody knows he's ready to fire on the first one. Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. That is down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Party around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead. With the first selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Adley Rutschman, a catcher from Oregon State University.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for episode 24 of the Talking Birdie podcast. We have another awesome prospect interview coming for you today, but in the meantime, I'm here with Josh. I'm here with Brad. My friends, how are you guys doing?
Doing good, Ryan. Really not that much going on since the last time we talked. So, Brad, how you doing?
Man, I told you guys before we came on here, it could be a little bit better. Lost my wallet right at the ATM. Bank's closed. Don't really know how the hell I'm going to handle this. Still have a Florida license. Hopefully I'll be able to swap that for a Maryland one without having it on me tomorrow. But, other than that, everything's perfect.
Before you do anything, you should definitely go back to the bank when it's open and just see if somebody there did happen to scoop it up.
I will. Yeah, I definitely will. But, it
if it
sucks
was closed,
right now.
Yeah, if it was closed when he went to the ATM and lost it there, it's unlikely. But
yeah, there was a guy at the ATM like right behind me, and I drove away to the gas station right by the bank, and I realized I didn't have my wallet, and then I drove back and it wasn't there. So the guy behind me clearly picked it up. Nobody spent anything, mind you, yet. So hopefully he's a good person and turns it in. But otherwise, going out of town this weekend, so it'd be nice to get that situation figured out.
Well, good luck, man.
Yep. But all that aside, that was a very fun interview with Zach Peak. So
as Brad just stated, we had
was I not supposed to give that away? Was that not my?
No, that's fine. That's fine. This is the intro to the episode. It's fine. As Brad stated, we had Ironbirds pitcher Zach Peak on. He had a hell of a year last year, so we were really excited when he agreed to come on, and it was great. We hope you all enjoy the interview. There's not really anything to talk about with the CBA.
just
things
owners
are bad.
Being greedy still.
Things are bad.
No news
things are not looking up.
Bad news.
No news is bad news in this scenario. Yes.
Yep.
And for those keeping score at the time of the recording of this, today was supposed to be the first day pitchers and catchers reported, and we will not be getting that as of right now. Nope.
So thank you, Rob. Thank you, owners. We really appreciate you.
Thank you to the minor league players going to spring training anyway, even though the owners refused to pay them for spring training. But other than that,
such BS, dude.
Like I said on this podcast before, I really wish the people that were in charge of baseball didn't hate baseball so much.
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
Damn shame.
I just realized that Zach Peak's Twitter bio is pitcher in the Baltimore Orioles organization, a.k.a. Darth Vader.
Nice.
So I will definitely talk to him about Star Wars the next time we talk.
Yeah, he had something on his Instagram. I guess I didn't really pick that up that he'd be a Star Wars fan, but that would have been nice.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, Zach. Bring that up every time you can.
For real.
Like everyone else who is.
We gotta call him back. Be like, you gotta get back in here.
He's eating dinner.
I do want to point out. I'm not going to obviously give away the whole interview, but we are quickly turning into the Brandon Young fan club.
Yes.
With the interviews that we're bringing in. So That's clearly going to be a guy that we're going to be keeping an eye out for this year.
He apparently has a flip phone still, so maybe this interview will be a little harder to carry out, but we will try our best.
Yep. Yep. Both Drew and Zach have both had good things to say about him unprovoked. So.
Yep. Very interesting. So yeah, maybe we will be able to get Brandon Young on here sometime.
Yeah.
But so we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the interview here. So we hope you guys enjoy it. We thank you again for tuning in, as always. And here's our interview with Orioles prospect and Aberdeen Ironbirds pitcher, Zach Peak. And joining us now live via Zoom, drafted in the 6th round of the 2019 draft at Winthrop University by the Los Angeles Angels and then acquired via trade by the Baltimore Orioles from Pineville, Virginia, it's Zach Peak. Zach, how you doing today, man? Thank you for being here.
Hey, doing well, man. How about yourself?
Very good. Very good. We're glad to see you. Glad to be talking to you. You had a hell of a year last year, man.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Wasn't too bad.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. So as I said in the intro, you were drafted by the Angels and traded to Baltimore as part of the Dylan Bundy trade. I'm sure different players react differently, but what emotions did it elicit from you when you heard you were traded? Did you upset? Did you kind of take it personally, or were you just excited to have a new opportunity?
It was just weird. It totally caught me off guard. I was just heading home from normal training, doing all that stuff, and got a call from our head of ops, and he was like, hey man, didn't expect to have this conversation with you so early. And I was like, oh man, oh no. And he was like, well, you've been traded. I think that phone call lasted like a total of 2 minutes. So like I said, it was really short and sweet. And all of a sudden I was a Baltimore Oriole. So more shocked than anything. It just kind of totally caught me off guard.
So it was like in Moneyball when Jonah Hill's character just says, hey, you've been traded. Go see this guy. Get out of here.
Exactly. That's exactly how it goes.
Well, hey, the trade conversation is better than the cut conversation, right? So at least
yeah, definitely.
That.
Damn right.
Long way away from that one.
Sorry, Zach Peak, you've been demoted back to college ball.
Yeah, right.
Winthrop has agreed to take you back.
Yeah, sure enough. I think I'd go back and try esports. Tell you what.
There you go. What do you play?
I play mainly Halo right now. Halo Infinite. That's been my game pretty much all off season.
Give me your gamer tag after this. We're gonna play.
Absolutely. Play Rocket League,
Yes.
DayZ. I play just a weird number of different video games. My brother, my closest in age brother, actually is still on scholarship playing Rocket League at Southern Virginia University. He had transferred to Winthrop and then he transferred back. But so esports, I got a little tick for that too. So.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could get a scholarship for esports. That's
Dude,
incredible.
I didn't either.
Dude,
if I could go back and do it again.
That's pretty recent.
You could actually gamble on esports now. I've noticed that on betting websites. It's becoming a big thing. Yeah.
You would know that, Chad. Brad is the resident degenerate gambler.
I'm the degenerate on here. Yeah.
Of the three of us.
No doubt.
Gotta have one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was hot shit at Rocket League when it first came out, but then like professionals started playing. I was like, I'm not that good.
Yeah.
Well, Zach,
it just takes my brother getting on the sticks, and I'm like, all right, dude, I don't even need to play anymore.
Yeah. Well, Zach, Drew told us he was a big gamer as well, so I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked him. Do you play any MLB The Show?
That's a tough one. I'll play it like here or there if somebody's running their mouth in the clubhouse. Like,
oh yeah,
okay, I'll get on the sticks. But like, normally I got enough baseball. I don't like to come home and play baseball.
Gotcha.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, so you're not like, oh, I got to use myself as a video game character. What's that like?
Maybe when we get there, but since I haven't been on any AA rosters, I'm not even in the game. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, you have to be AA or up. I mean, the single A players exist, but they kind of don't.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I think you might be in there. They don't have your face or anything like that, and you're rated like a 40, but I think you might be in there after this past year.
Bulletin board material.
Right. Yeah. Hey, we said that to Drew as well. Just use it as bulletin board material.
Yeah. Take a screenshot of that and send it to Zach, and that's something that's going to motivate him all year long.
You're right, 40 overall.
All the O's players play different games, man. Like Kobe Mayo plays Fortnite, Ryan McKenna plays Apex, Zach Watson's playing Escape from Tarkov.
Tarkov.
Yeah,
different
Say
stuff.
it right, Josh.
What is it? Tarkov?
Tarkov.
All right, whatever.
I was in an Apex spell for a while, and then Halo came out, so that kind of stole me away. But maybe I'll be back on Apex one of these days.
Hell yeah, man! I'm serious. If you ever do want to play Halo, I'm down. That's like all I. If I'm not flight simming, that's all I do is Halo.
Let's do it, man. I'm like an Onyx 1650 right now in open, and solo duo. I'm like 1540. Like not
all
too
right,
bad.
well, I'm gonna let you carry me then, because I just switched to PC and I haven't played ranked because I'm garbage on mouse and keyboard. So I might play some ranked on controller, but
let's do it.
Definitely not on mouse and key. Yeah, let's do it. I think I'm like a plat 5 maybe, so I'm getting there. But
what'd you switch from to PC? What were you playing on before?
I was on the Series S, the newer Xbox.
Gotcha. You like your PC more? I have the Series X currently.
So much better, dude.
I bet.
Just everything you can do with it, like especially with like the story games where you can like mod them to make them look silly. Like
exactly.
Have you seen like The Witcher, the Netflix show?
For sure.
They have like mods that make the Geralt in the game look like Henry Cavill, and you can't do that on like Xbox, but you can do it on PC.
On
you just download it.
Stuck,
yeah. So just for that, and the fact that I can do all this and do all this other stuff at the same time. So yeah, I like the PC a lot better.
Exactly.
For sure.
I understand.
Meanwhile, my PS4 back there sounds like it's about to take off.
Yeah, those things sound
it's
like jet engines,
engine
dude.
in the back. Yeah, I had one for a period of time. I remember.
It's not bad. It was cheaper than the Xbox One at the time. I think that's why it went out in sales, but it's not superior.
The PS4 and the Xbox One were almost identical as far as performance goes. It's just about which one you like better.
I'm always such an outcast in these gaming conversations. I've owned one gaming system in my life. I bought an Xbox One 2 years ago just to play Madden, and then I played a little bit of MLB The Show. But other than that, I haven't really played in a couple of years. So,
hey man,
I guess I'm just not cool. Yeah,
more power to you though. You probably got more time on your hands to do some stuff instead of sitting down and playing Halo every 30 seconds you got.
Yep. I just find other stupid shit to do. That's all.
There you go.
Yep.
So, Zach, sorry, Josh, you have something else to say?
Oh, you're good, man. Yeah.
Okay. So, Zach, I know you weren't there for that long, but what differences, if any, do you see between the Orioles and the Angels organizations, just in the terms of like day-to-day ops and just how the organization as a whole is run?
Nothing too crazy. Obviously, differences in facilities. The Angels facility that's out there in Tempe is a little bit older. I believe it might be one of the oldest spring training sites still there. So, come back over to Ed Smith and Twin Lakes, and we got it pretty nice over there. So, different locations are different. Florida, Arizona. I've gotten to see both of those, and I think the people are actually different. There was definitely more of a West Coast vibe out there, especially with the Angels. Even the coaches, we're like beach guys and wearing flops here and there. But the Orioles has been good. We have great facilities. They take good care of us. So nothing too major, like
Nice.
I said.
Yeah, the three of us are trying to get down there for spring training this year. Hopefully, if it all gets going. I know you guys are going down, but who knows
about the major league camp,
about the major league camp or anything like that. So we're waiting to make arrangements, but the goal is to get all three of us down there and go shamelessly promote the show. And
that'd be great, man.
Honestly, just to visit the facilities too, because none of us have been there.
For sure, you guys come out. Make sure you guys say hello.
Oh, of course,
we definitely will, man.
Absolutely,
definitely
man.
Will.
For sure.
This has kind of become the question I ask. I'm probably going to have to ask everybody, but is there a singular stat that you personally look at the end of the year that kind of that you can grade your season on? Drew Rom mentioned whip and hard hit percentage, but I think a lot of guys, value different stats differently.
For sure. I had a couple of good ones that I could have looked at, but I think mostly I'm chasing punch outs. So as long as my punch outs continue to soar, that's what I'm looking for. A lot of punch outs and few innings, kind of what I like, and obviously no walks. And so
Ks per 9 would probably be the one number that you look for.
You just summed it up for me right there.
Perfect.
And I also like to limit the long ball. You don't you don't like to see home run numbers soar. So like I'd say if I had to pick three, I'd do Ks per nine, hard hit like balls percentage, and then the like home runs per nine. So I keep track of those.
Okay. Let's say you did a great job limiting the long ball this year, especially in Delmarva.
I appreciate it. They got me on opening day. They got me on opening day in the top of the first, and then we had a rain out in the second. So it was like, man.
That's not how you want to go out, man.
No, like the opening day after a year off, it was like, oh, this will be a tough one.
Well, they suspend those games, right? So they pick them up where you left off. So that still counts on your stats and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. And it was the big dude from the Red Sox. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he started in Delmarva and then he was up in High A at the end of the year.
Was it Blaze Jordan by any chance?
I don't think that's correct.
Tristan Cassis?
Joe Davis.
Okay.
Joe Davis.
Okay.
He remembers.
Sorry, it just came to me. So I saw him opening day, and then I saw him the very last outing of my year, and I actually got even with him then. So,
Good.
kind of nice.
Cool. Well, Zach, I was looking at your numbers comparing from like your last year at Winthrop and then your first year of Pro Bowl. It looks like ERA wise, you actually improved a little bit. So talk to me a little bit about the difference in competition. Did you find low A ball to actually be easier than Big South competition, or you find that to be about the same and you just improved your craft a little bit? Talk a little bit about that.
I'd say they're definitely comparable. Low A is a little bit more challenging than the Big South was. But I also had more pitches to go to. In college, I was just rearing back and throwing it by people until like my junior year. And so like, I'd say the biggest difference from then to Pro Ball would just be kind of developing my secondary pitches and having something to actually go with the heater. So that kind of unlocked a lot of different stuff, being able to throw 4 pitches in the zone, kind of, got some really good hitters out. I found it easier to pitch in High A than I did in Low A,
Really?
just because of the better approaches from hitters. They're not going to spoil like a really good pitch, if that makes any sense, because they're going up there with a good disciplined approach. So as long as you beat them at their approach, then you pretty much won that at bat. Whereas in Low A, sometimes you get some just silly swings that fall in somehow, and you're like, dude, like, how did that even happen? So
Is
it
it
was
kind of
almost
like it's not predictable because he doesn't know what he's doing either?
more or less. And like, I'm not saying there aren't good hitters in Low A, but there's just kind of more discipline in High A, and you kind of know what they're looking for, and you can kind of turn that against them. So
Nice.
Yeah. Drew Rom kind of alluded to the same thing. And I remember talking to Blaine Knight a couple years ago, and he said there was a big difference in approach between Low A and High A also. So, yeah, that's a common theme that we're hearing here. Now, is there any particular hitter that you faced like that stood out as the best one you've ever faced, whether it be in college or in the minor leagues so far?
I thought Volpe was pretty good. Volpe, however you say it.
Oh, yeah.
He had a great year.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty good. Tough to get out. Go ahead.
I actually was, when I was down in Florida last year, I lived in Florida all last year. I went to a Tampa Tarpons game, and Anthony Volpe actually swung and missed, and his bat flew into the stands. So I have an Anthony Volpe bat upstairs in my room. So.
That's kind of sick.
I was actually looking at my phone, half paying attention, because I didn't really care who won. I was just kind of taking it all in because I was in town, and I heard the fans gasp. I looked up, the bat fell right in front of me, and there's Volpe. So
like, all right, there it is.
Yep, I got it. Yep.
Back to that question, like that's a hard one to answer because like you're going out attacking everybody, like regardless of who it is. So it's like I didn't really keep tabs on anybody. I just kind of kept tabs on the people that got me, and then I made sure I got them the next time I saw them. So it was like there were some good hitters throughout, but none of them coming to my mind right now. Which sucks.
Are you pretty aware when there's like a top 100 guy that you're going to be facing in the lineup that's, highly ranked prospect? Do you know that going in, or is that just not something you really pay too much attention to?
Not necessarily. You got to go out and beat them regardless. So situational. You can go after him, or hey, I gotta kind of try to get this guy to chase a little bit. So that's kind of the only really thing that I would pay attention to. Is just like, what's this dude really good at? What's he really known for? Okay, then I'm gonna watch out for that. So
For sure.
yeah, absolutely.
So since Brad mentioned Winthrop, I had a question here. Just what made you decide to attend Winthrop for college?
I tore my ACL my junior year of high school. So going into my senior year, no one really was knocking down the door to try to sign me and get me to play college ball. So that was kind of difficult. It was like late in the recruiting year, but Winthrop had kind of followed me for a couple of years because my dad played there and my mom played softball there. So
Oh, nice.
I was kind of a legacy student. So they knew of me. They didn't necessarily know anything. And then like opening day for our high school season, they were there. They saw me do my thing, and it just went from there. They ended up being the highest offer, so that's a hard one to turn down as well.
Yeah, always. Did you tear your ACL playing baseball, or was it doing something else?
I was playing pickup basketball at the Y, man.
I was gonna say that is such a rare injury in baseball. I don't know what it is about it, but yeah, that'll happen.
Little pickup b-ball, man. I've never stepped back on the court.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't blame you, man.
Did you also play basketball in high school, or were you just happen to play pickup all that day?
Dude, I was out with some friends. I had recently moved to Virginia, so I was just like there messing around. Normally that's how it happens.
Yeah. How's your jump shot?
Where are you from initially?
I spent 8 years in Tennessee, in Cookeville, Tennessee, like an hour outside Nashville. Lived in Florida for 3 years, and I've been in Virginia for about 5 or 6. I think that sounds about right.
Okay.
Where is Pineville?
Pineville is in North Carolina. I live in Lynchburg, Virginia. You're good. No, Pineville is like a small, tiny little town outside Winthrop.
Just gonna make a little note that Baseball Reference lied to me.
For whatever reason, they say I'm born in Pineville, Virginia, and I don't even think that's a town.
You weren't even born in Virginia.
No, I was born in North Carolina.
What is going on? All right, Baseball Reference is blacklisted. I'm not looking at their shit anymore.
There you go.
Making me look stupid.
So if you Google Pineville, Virginia, this town called McGaheysville, Virginia comes up, and it's literally just a church.
I don't think that's where I was born.
I don't think so.
No, I think you would know where you were born. Where did you live in Florida when you were there?
I lived in Spring Hill, which is about 30 minutes, 45 minutes north of Tampa. So
Nice.
It's like Weeki-Wachi area, if you're familiar with any of that. So it was all right.
Tampa's a nice area. I like that. I like it a lot there.
It wasn't too bad at all. It was different. It was definitely different than rural Tennessee, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. I spent a year down in Florida myself, but I was over on the East Coast side. I was in Port St. Lucie. So it was a retirement town. So, I mean, nice place to go to if you're starting a family or if you're 60 years old. But I was 31 and newly single. So I got a new job back up here and got the hell out of there.
Brad's best friend in Florida just cashed in his 401k.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, man. Zach, you only had 3 starts this season where you gave up more than 3 runs. What is your routine between starts that preps you for this kind of effectiveness and efficiency every time you take the hill? Or is it like mostly a mindset kind of thing?
Obviously you have your days where you do stuff and you're throwing program and like lifting on specific days and all that stuff. That's just to keep the body right, week to week. I kind of agree with you. It's more or less a mindset. You can kind of keep the ball rolling. Like if you, obviously you learn from a bad one too, but like if you put together a good one, you can be like, okay, this is what I did well. This is what I didn't do well. And you can spend your week's work on what you didn't do well. And then you'll have, let's say you have all 4 pitches working, so it's kind of carrying over some momentum start to start, especially if you're like on a little hot streak. But I think the easier ones to bounce back from are the tougher ones where you went out, it didn't go your way. So you had to work, you grit your teeth all week and really get ready to go. And that's when you're like the most locked in. But there's also something to be said for, cruising week to week and getting in a groove.
Yeah, I don't think any of those starts with more than 3 runs was like in a consecutive week. So
For sure. They normally just spread out a little. You're like, okay, I'm rolling, and then here's 6 runs. So
Zach, how did you and the organization really handle the lost COVID year in 2020? Did they give you any specific instructions on what they wanted you to work on? Did they want you reporting anything back to them, or were you just kind of on your own with that? How did you work on your craft?
it was about 50-50. I did have like a pitching coach and point man and stuff like that, but a lot of the work was done, with me behind closed doors. I trained in Harrisonburg, Virginia, with Hannafy. Brendan
Okay.
Hannafy's
Yep.
another pitcher in the organization.
Yep.
So we got some good work in, good lives, stuff like that. They wanted me to like change a couple of my movement patterns and the way that I moved. So all that was kind of tedious and different texts back and forth and sending lots of video clips. But like I said, a lot of it was on us to make sure we were still doing that stuff.
So were you a little bit apprehensive when you stepped back out on the mound for the first time in game action for a couple of years, or did you feel confident just like it was, oh, I'm right back into the same game I've been playing my whole life?
A little bit of both. At first it was kind of like, man, this feels weird. This feels foreign, because you've been inside or you've been throwing lives, so it was like a little bit of that, but then at the same time, it was like once you got out there and got it going, got pitches, got people out, it was like, okay, man, I remember how to do this. So
there you go.
Kind of took an inning or two.
Right, makes sense.
So Zach, you've been to 2 of the affiliates so far? You've been to Delmarva. Did you finish last year at Aberdeen?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So have you found anything that you enjoy doing in Maryland yet? Just from stuff that you guys do when you get your free time during the season. I know there's nothing in Salisbury, so I'm sure there's not going to be anything from that. But did you get to visit the city at all when you were in Aberdeen or anything like that?
In Aberdeen, a lot of our stuff was like further away from the field, so a lot of our hangouts and stuff like that came in like Bel Air, Maryland, which is like right there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like that wasn't bad. There's some stuff to do, stuff to eat, but I mean, really, there's not too much to do.
No, there
just
isn't.
kind of go to the field and wait for your off day. So
Yeah.
not too much craziness.
Well, you should get a chance to check out the city this year if you can. It gets a bad rep, but there is a lot of fun stuff to do.
See, I look forward to that. A lot of our off days, we just go to like DC or other places like that and just kind of hang out, spend the day there. So wasn't too bad, man.
DC's a nice town too.
I do like DC. It's just a little far.
Yes,
so
it
hot
is.
there, man.
Say that again.
It's really hot there in the summer. Like all that asphalt around there, it gets to like 110 just like walking around like the main areas and everything.
Most cities are like that, Josh.
I know, but like I've never had it besides DC really. Like we walked like 11 miles. I think we walked like 40,000 steps and just seeing different stuff. And
Wow.
It was miserable.
You got to hop on a bird and just cruise around.
Those weren't around when we went, but yeah, definitely next time.
Got to. It's the most fun.
I think I was trying to get my girlfriend to like, just because we went this last summer, we took like a 2-week trip on the East Coast and we went to DC for the last day, and it was another really hot day like that. And every bird, she couldn't get her app to like scan it in. Like every single scooter that was out there, all the bikes, she couldn't scan it in. She was just getting so frustrated and we just left.
Wow. That sucked.
Yeah, it was terrible. I had a question about the modern era of pitching. There's like a more power pitchers than ever before. Like it's being more promoted on the minor leagues, and like kids are being taught to throw harder from a younger age. People who can regularly throw triple digits, that's like at an all-time high. Finesse pitchers are becoming less common. Whether it's by design or accident, with a couple exceptions, the O's have a lot of key arms such as yourself in the org throwing mid to low 90s. We saw that a lot from the fringe starters this year too, like Keegan Aiken and Dean Kramer. From what you've observed or heard, is there like an organizational philosophy done intentionally where they actively seek these kind of pitchers? Or is it as simple as that they aren't putting as much emphasis on velo as long as results look the way they want? That's a long question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a very good
Josh.
one. you know that the Orioles go out and draft specific guys, and they're looking for like certain types of fastballs or certain types of pitches. So I know one thing that we value as an organization, just like a lot of others, we value hop on the fastball. So they're looking at hop first and foremost, and then velo, I guess, would be a very close second. I don't think necessarily that that like everybody has to throw hard to succeed. I think some guys do very well at what they do. And those are kind of situational, like I said, but you know, for the most part, we're looking for almost the same type of fastball. We're looking for like a Grayson Rodriguez hoppy fastball that never drops. So those are easy to find in the organization. And the guys that do well without that are very good at what they do. So kind of a little of both, I guess. Just knowing what guys specialize in what thing, I guess, would be best answer to that. That was a tough question.
Sorry about that. I love watching guys like Greinke and like Kyle Hendricks pitch. Like they're like way more fun for me to see. I know obviously not everyone feels the same way, but it's a good like breath of fresh air from like the usual like Garrett Cole's throwing 99 in like the 6th inning and everything.
For sure. This is an unpopular opinion, but baseball always has trends, and it goes one way and then everything changes that way and then changes back. I think we have so many hard throwers in the game right now. I think it's going to trend back in the opposite direction at some point. I just don't know when that is.
Yeah, hitters are geared up to hit 98 every single time they go up there, and eventually that's going to have diminishing returns. So hopefully that's on the way.
So you bring out, say your starter is like 95, 97, and he gets you till the 5th. And then you bring in a guy that's like 87 from the left side. That's such a hard difference, especially if he's got good stuff. So I feel like we'll see some more of those guys come back around as the game progresses.
And especially if they can paint it too.
Yeah,
exactly. How are you going to adjust like that AB to AB?
Right. That's why Cesar Valdez was so effective last year or 2020. And for at least part of 2021, like guys had no idea what that was. Throwing 82 mile an hour changeups.
I saw that.
Every pitch.
I saw that in the Cape when I was there too many years ago now. But it was like all the guys that were throwing mid to upper 90s were getting pieced. And our dudes coming out of the pen at like 86 to 88 were just dicing everybody up, and none of us understood it. So years later I can look back and be like, oh, every hitter was ready for 90 plus. So that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, either there will be that reverse trend or human evolution through advanced training. 20 years from now, guys will be averaging 115 miles an hour on their fastball.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of those two.
Exactly.
One of those two. So
it's too crazy.
Yeah, right. So Zach, who are some of the guys you become closest with in the organization since you've come over, and are there any guys that you remain in touch with in the Angels organization that you're close with as well?
Having my boy Stallings traded over was huge.
Oh yeah,
he was one of my good friends out there, because when we got drafted by the Angels, he was 5th round, I was 6th round, so we were together in everything we do. We did the MRI together, like all that good stuff. So to see him traded over was really nice. I'm tight with Brandon Young, Houston Roth. Like those are my two guys. And Jake Prezina, who was a really good arm for us in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
There's nobody that I dislike, but those are definitely the guys that I'm tightest with, like from a staff perspective.
This Brandon Young's getting some glowing reviews.
I was going to say
mention him as well.
We're a Brandon Young podcast, I guess.
Yep.
So I guess I got to work on getting him on now.
Yep, send him a
He's
DM,
legit,
Brad.
man.
Get him on too.
Cool.
Yeah,
man.
Rom answered it with him as the most underrated prospect in the system. I thought that was very interesting.
Wow. He's legit, dude. He's got really good stuff.
Cool. That's good to know.
He has a flip phone, so you'll if you want to get in touch with him, I'll have to send you his number.
Yeah, ask him.
If he's cool with it. I mean, I'm not gonna text him without his permission. But yeah, if he's cool
for
with
sure.
it, yeah.
I'll reach out to him right when we're done here.
No, that would be sick, dude. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
He's an interesting cat. He'll be a good one to have on here.
That's the kind we like on here, man.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
All right. Let me get back to my questions here. Oh no, where are they? Okay. So, what role when we all expect you to make the major leagues, but when you make it there, what role in the pitching staff do you see yourself most likely to settle into?
Um, I'd like to say starter, but who knows? I'd be willing to do anything, especially at the big league level. But they seem to kind of like me in the role that I'm in, kind of keep me in that and allow me to, continue to get starts. So that'd be kind of a guessing game, honestly. If they change me up, then we got to figure it out. But
Yep.
for right now, I'd like to say I'd be a back end starter behind a couple other really good guys that are going to be in the big leagues. So
Yeah, we hope so too, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Great stuff on the way. In 2019 with Winthrop, you pitched a one-run complete game to lead off the playoffs. This was your final outing as an Eagle, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys would go on to the championship game, face off against Campbell University, which happens to be Cedric Mullins' old university. What does it feel like to be in such a major playoff environment like that? And how motivated are you to get back in a playoff setting as well as getting to a level where they let you pitch more than 5 innings?
That was just a good day, man. It was a weird early game. It was like a 9:00 start. So wake up early and the caffeine hit really quick, nice in the morning. So that was just a good day. Playoffs are fun, especially when you got to win to survive. It kind of puts a little bit of extra pressure on it. And I enjoy like that pressure to an extent. I think it kind of, makes it something worth it to go out there and give it everything, every single thing that you got. Not that you don't do that on typical season, but you know what I'm saying? There's a little bit extra there. So, you might reach back and get a little extra on a pitch or, big situations just feel like they matter more. So, it's exciting. Love to get back into a playoff setting.
So you say the caffeine hit. Are you pretty much jacked up on caffeine before every game?
Yeah, dependent. There's always a bang in there. It's just how much of that I'll drink and if I'll crack another one or not.
So what is it? A
Get
Red
out there and
Bull,
your
a 5-hour
hands
Red Bull, 5-hour energy, coffee. What do you go? What's your go-to?
A bang almost every time.
Oh, a bang.
Just because
Okay.
it won't, it doesn't. You don't feel sluggish. It's pretty much just pure caffeine almost. And I'm not a coffee guy. Like I've tried. I can drink like super sweet coffees, like frozen coffees and stuff like that. But, I just stick with the energy drinks in the morning.
I became a coffee guy in my late 20s. Now I drink Dunkin' every day. So I did not get paid by Dunkin' to say that also. Yeah. Yep. Maybe
we can have this conversation over again when I'm an old man, and I'll let you know about the coffee.
Hey, at the World Series party in a couple of years, man. I'll see you there.
Hey, that'd be great.
By the time you're an old man, Brad might not be around anymore.
I might not be. Yeah, I might not be around for that, man. So.
He'll be back in Florida.
Yeah.
Right. Back in Port St. Lucie,
cashing out his 401k.
Yep.
Exactly. So, based on the way you've answered some of the questions so far, I kind of think I might know the answer already. But in your opinion, what is your best pitch and why?
I used to say heater, but I'd say right now in pro ball, I'd say it's my curveball, just because I can go to that pretty much in any count. I can drop it in when I need to, and I can throw a bastard one when I have to as well. It just spins and keeps going, man. So some new catchers and stuff like that, I have to let them know. Like people I'm playing catch with, I have to let them know. And people always just shrug me off or whatever, and then the first will go, ooh. So I think that's my number one right now. That heater, and then probably third changeup. So,
are you working on anything new like that?
No, I actually have been. I've been working on a hard slider. So
you can't tell us that. Trade secrets, man.
So last year I threw kind of a slurve. So I threw a curveball, obviously, and then when I would just bend it in, I would just kind of throw a slider slurve that was
get a little more horizontal movement on there.
Yeah. And we talked about – go ahead.
I was just going to ask, that slurve, is that a change in grip or is it more of a change in arm angle?
it's all like a change in the hand. Like if I'm throwing curveball here, I was throwing slurve like there. So
Okay.
curveball breaks, like it would be more kind of up and down, and then my slurve, I would start it almost at right-handed batters and drop it like in the middle of the dish. When I was at Instructs this year, we kind of got to talk a little bit with Holt, talking about that, and then we decided that we were going to introduce and like work on a slider all off season. So it's been coming out hard. It's been moving, so I'm excited to see how that pitch does for me this year.
Okay. We
Sweet,
heard
man.
Drew Rom talk about like Josh Conway and Justin Ramsey, who are both pitching coaches in the organization. Those were the two he named, but are you able to speak to these two as well, or are there other coaches in the organization that have also had a major impact on you?
I work with Josh like most closely. He's been my off-season contact. Obviously, he was my pitching coach there in Aberdeen. He's also just one of my favorite coaches. Knows what he's talking about. Doesn't try to like over-coach either. If your stuff's working, he's going to let it work. And he's really good at like knowing his guys, kind of knowing what they need. Or he especially showed that with me because I come in like a hothead. If things aren't going my way, I'm pissed, and I'm coming in the dugout pissed, and he'd just come down and be like, hey, they haven't scored yet, man. Like, relax. You know what I'm saying? Just like some dialogue like that. So Conway's kind of good at settling me back down. That's kind of what I needed this year. So I've been able to talk to him pretty much all off season. He's been great, super quick with responses, and gives great information. So I haven't dealt with Ramsey yet. Knock on wood. Hopefully sometime.
I'm gonna say that's cool because Conway got moved up to Bowie, and you'll probably see him at some point this year, I imagine.
That would be fantastic, as well as the Aberdeen manager Kyle Moore, who's a great guy.
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
I was gonna ask you about him as
cool
well.
to see again. He's the man, dude. He's the man.
So is the coaches moving up, is that kind of by design in the organization to try to keep players that have developed relationships with their coaches, keep them together as they move up?
You would think so, but also like showing that the coaches do their stuff. Like I don't know, they're being evaluated just the same we are as players a lot of times. So seeing them coach good players and have those players have good results. Obviously they go hand in hand. So it's fun to see them go up. This is my first time seeing coaches go up, and excited to see them again.
Makes more sense than the old system of just throwing old guys at whatever level and just kicking them out when they were done.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna grab my phone charger real quick.
Oh, good.
You guys got any more questions?
I'm set, man. That was
That's all I've got.
That was good stuff.
Damn, I hope I gave you guys some good answers, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, did, man.
For sure.
We're really glad you joined us, and thanks for getting back to Brad and agreeing to come on and join us here, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
definitely shoot Brandon a text message for us, and I'll reach out to him if he's cool with it. So,
absolutely, man.
We might not hear back till tomorrow because he has to type, real slow on the flip phone.
Yeah, right.
We'll be patient on that.
Yeah, exactly. But seriously, guys, I appreciate it. It's been awesome.
Yeah, man. If you wouldn't mind hanging out just a few minutes afterward,
yeah, absolutely.
that's some follow-up stuff. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody, for listening in. Thank you, Zach, for joining us once again, and we'll see you next time.
Before we end the recording, Zach, we forgot to do this for Drew. We felt really bad about it. Would you like to plug any of your social media?
Oh, yeah. Plug yourself, please.
I don't have to. It's just, I think it's Zachary.peak on Instagram, and then Zachary_peak on Twitter. Nothing too crazy.
Do you stream on Twitch or anything?
Not yet.
You should.
Not yet.
I know. I'd like to do that when I get to the big leagues, so at least I'll have a prominent following.
We can't get that following without shouting it out on podcasts you come on.
Yep.
Hey, start building it now, man.
Hey, go add my Xbox profile, Peak Man.
Cool.
Do it.
All right,
Zach. Well, thanks again, man, and thanks everybody for listening. Hope you all enjoyed it.